Alright everyone, so in this video we're going to show you the process of what it takes to harvest honey. The first thing that we need to do is we need to get the bees out of the boxes that have the honey in it. And there's a couple ways to do this. The way that we're going to do it is a non-chemical way. You can do a chemical way, you can do the non-chemical way. We've been doing the non-chemical way since we've had the hives, and that involves a one-way. So, like a valve, this is a one-way. It's the size of, it's about an inch wide, and it has this triangular pattern on the bottom with a mesh screen, and then on the opposite side it has a hole. So what ends up happening is we put the plain side here on top of facing up, and then the mesh side pointing down. Now what ends up happening is the bees come down from the honey supers, they go into this hole here, and then the bottom here, they get confused when they make their way out, and they can't figure their way back up into the honey supers. So by putting this on, it's a non-harmful way of getting the bees out of the honey supers, so that when we go to take the honey supers off, we don't have to put any chemicals on the inner cover, or use a blower to blow the bees out. So today we're going to do this, then tomorrow we're going to take the boxes off, and we're going to put a fan on top of the boxes and we're going to get a dehumidifier near the boxes that have honey in them to get the moisture content down to below 17%. Because if honey is above 17%, it will ferment, and we don't want that. We need to get it down, so by having the fan and dehumidifier, we take any excess water that might not have been evaporated from the bees, and that just makes it so the honey lasts. So, all right, let's do that. We're gonna put the one-ways on, then tomorrow we're gonna take the boxes off. And after we take the boxes off and let them sit for a couple of days, we will then take them over to my aunt's house, and I'll show you the rest of the extraction process for honey. All right, let's go. Jesus Christ. Yep, that's everyone too.
Bingo bango. Move, move, move. Slowly.
Alright, so now we're over at my aunt's house, and we're going to be doing the extraction part of getting honey. So here we have an uncapping tank. So what happens is we bring the frames over to the uncapping tank here, and there's one or two things that we can do to cut open the honeycomb. Is we have an extracting tool here, which then pulls off any loose cappings, and we have an uncapping knife, and this is an electric capping knife. What ends up doing is it heats up, and as you go across the comb, it ends up heating it and cutting through the comb structure, and then opens up the honey frames, and then we can put it into the extractors. The extractor here, then we put the frames into, and it then spins the frames around very, very fast, and the honey then sticks to the outer wall of the drum here, and it comes down to the base here, and at the base here the honey then comes out and then goes through a 400 and then 600 micron filter. We're gonna get going. Yep.
Last one. Baby.
All right, so we're at the bottling day. So we have our honey here. We have our bottling tank here. It's a food grade 5-gallon bucket with the nozzle on it. What ends up happening is we take this honey here, we then pour it into this bucket here. Since it's already filtered, we can just then pour from the bottle here into the containers. We have a variety. I believe these are 16-ounce bottles, and we have these 8-ounce bottles along with half gallon. We're gonna fill only a couple of those, and then I believe those are 32 ounce mason jars that we fill as well. So we're gonna get going on this. It's a hot day, so the honey will be more viscous and will flow smoother. So, all right, here we go. Also, got a good grip on it? Yep. Double cap. There it is, first jar. So we finished bottling. Took us about an hour and a half, 2 hours for preparations and to go through the whole process here. As you can see, there is approximately 100 plus of these bears, along with a dozen or so of other size quantities. So yeah, it was a pretty good haul. The bees, they still have a lot on their hives. So normally in a year, the first year, you do not harvest off of the hives. Since the bees were in such a good state and were producing, we were able to then take some of this honey. So pretty good haul. Don't know what we're gonna do with most of it
We're gonna pour it in a bathtub and we're gonna soak in it.
right off the bat. But yeah, pretty good haul. I don't know what else to say. Yeah, that's it. Cool.